Hi. So welcome back to the next step in my network redesign. And today's episode is going to be step 3, convert the loft router to use VLANs. Now, I'm not actually converting the loft router. I've got a new router, which I've installed OpenWRT on, and I'm going to configure that to use the VLANs. And I'll be making the required changes to the switch and to the pfSense firewall as well. So just to refresh your memory in case you're wondering what the whole thing looks like. So we have got, this is the final state of the network that we're heading towards, and I'm going to be installing this loft router here. Just to give you a quick visual representation of what's happening, let's go here and just watch this very little video. So we've got the loft server up the top at present, and we're going to be removing that and putting it down the bottom. It's currently on VLAN 1, and it's going to be moving to, well, multiple VLANs. So coming away from there and being relocated down there. So I've drawn, it's got showing VLAN 10 and 40, but it's also going to have, because I said I was going to split the working from home LANs out, so that's going to actually not be 40, it's going to be 41, 42, and 43. And I've also decided that from a configuration perspective, I think it's easier to configure all of the routers the same. So I'm actually going to put 30 on here as well, even though it doesn't actually need it. And then all of the connectivity can all be the same across all of them, and it just keeps the configuration much easier. So let's go to the switch. Still on that there. So this is where we left it. You can see we've got VLANs 20 and 50. And I've also decided that I'm just going to add all the other VLANs in, as well as we've already done a couple of these. Oops. And just going to have to get that done with. So let's add new VLAN. So we've currently got 20 and 50. We need to add VLAN 10. And that's going to be tagged on port 3. I will be adding other ports to it later, but I don't know what they're going to be at the moment. Okay, so that's that one. So we've got 10, we've got 20, add new VLAN, let's add 30. And that is going to be tagged on port 1. And then we can add new VLAN. Excuse me, 41. That will be tagged on port 1. 42. Tagged on port 1. 43. Tagged on port 1. And last one, backup VLAN 60, which will be tagged on port 1. Now let's go and have a look how that looks. Okay, 20, so 10, 20, 30, 41, 42, 43, 50, and 60. That's all the VLANs. They're all 30, 40, and 60 are tagged on there. 10 and 20 are tagged on port 3, and then we've got 50 is untagged on port 5. So now I can go in and add these other ports when I need them. Right, so the first thing then to do, there's nothing in that port. So let's go in and add the entries for the loft router. Let's go back to VLAN. So that's going to be plugged into port 8. So that's going to handle 30. It's going to be tagged on port 8. 41. Tagged on port 8. 42. Same again. Oh, hello. Tagged and 60. Tagged on port 8. Right. Try that again. Okay, so that's port 8. He's now going to be able to service all of the Wi-Fi networks. We also need, no it's not, we also need port 10. VLAN 10 rather. VLAN. Tagged on port 8. Right. So on port 8 we will now be able to service VLAN 60, VLAN 43, VLAN 42, VLAN 41, VLAN 30 and VLAN 10. Okay, that's that done. Now let's go to pfSense. I don't know why that says it's down. It's not. You can see traffic there. I need to investigate that. Right, so let's go and get all these configured. I'll probably fast forward some of this. So interfaces, these are all done. OT inbound. Yeah. Okay, they're all done. OT outbound. That's number 10, which we've just got. Okay, so let's go to firewall and lock these, start locking these down so that they show the way we want them to. So IoT outbound. Okay, no rules. So let's add a rule. And I'm going to try and do this a bit simpler. So let's pass anything for all traffic destination WAN. So if it's going to the WAN, allow all traffic to the internet. Save. Okay, so that will allow all traffic out. I'm now going to add another rule that says block. Source any, destination any. So, okay, access to all other zones. So basically what this means is, I hope, First rule is it matches the rules in order. As soon as it matches against the rule, then it will stop moving, stop looking for another rule. So the first one is any source, if it's going to a WAN address, then allow it out. And then, so anything that doesn't match a WAN address, it'll come down here, it'll match this wildcard, and will block all the other zones. So let's apply changes. And I'm going to do the same. I can copy these, but I can only copy them within a network. So SIOT outbound, work from home 1, add. So we've got a path. Okay, I was doing some testing here, so it's already here. I was doing it the other way around, where I was blocking access to the other networks. But what that means is, if I put in a block on a specific network, that means I've got to have one for all of these. So I think it's more efficient to just allow the one that is allowed and block all the rest. So let's just edit this. So this wants to be a path. All the traffic destination is going to be WAN. IT inbound, right, so this is how I had the previous thing done. Block access to all the other things, all the other networks, and then allow it in, but you ended up with a huge number of block rules. So I'm going to delete all of these. Well, this could take a while. Let's delete those. Let's change the order of these. Save it. Right. So first one, allow all traffic out, and then no, not all traffic out. Destination WAN. So I'm enabling that, and then block everything else. All of the networks. Okay. I may have to put in an allow for a specific allow for the Plex server from the IoT network, but I'll cover that when I need to. Okay, so that's all of those changes done. So let's go and start configuring the router. Okay, so I've just done a factory reset on this router. So it's now running just the base OpenWRT. Just a little comment. This is running on the Linksys EA8300, which isn't currently supported on the new DSA architecture officially. So what I'm currently running is a snapshot of the DSA software running the new kernel 5.15. I can do a video if people are interested on how to do that. It's very simple. The other advantage of running a snapshot is I've included the Lucy Advanced Boot options, and I've also included Nano, which I like to use to edit stuff. And that's all in the base install now, which is really handy. Anyway, so let's get to it. You can tell if you're running the new version or the old version because you've got interfaces, wireless, and then I can't remember now. It used to have switch as an option on this menu. Well, you can also tell it because you're running the latest version of the kernel as well. But anyway, so let's go to interfaces. Now, I'm not supporting version 6 IP at the moment because I don't really know it that well. So I'm going to delete that. Straight away. Okay. Now, for this configuration, what I'm going to be doing, you've got 5 ports on the back of the router. And this kind of shows how they're currently configured. There's 4 of them that are linked together, which is in the LAN. And then you've got an upstream or a WAN port. Now, I want to keep an admin port on the router. And if I do that in the current configuration, then I'm going to use up one of these ports. So I can only attach 3 devices. Well, I can't attach 3 devices because I need to use one of these for the upstream port, one for the admin, and then I can only attach 2 devices to the router. So I'm going to change this WAN port from an upstream port into a local port, which I can connect as an admin device. So that'll be permanently allocated. And if I do anything wrong with this configuration or anything, then I can always connect using that local port. Yeah, so let's edit this then. So I need to change this from a DHCP client into a static address. I do want to switch protocol, and I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it 1.1, but obviously I'm already connected. 1.1 is already in use by the LAN segment. So initially I'm going to make it 2.1, and then I'll change it back again afterwards. Leave this blank. It will select the default. Bring up on boot. Yes. Advanced settings. Don't care. Firewall. Using the WAN. DHCP server. Now, I do not want to ignore this interface. I want to provide DHCP on this interface. So let's save that. Save and apply. I shouldn't have any problems with this because I'm not changing any of this LAN connection which I'm currently connected via. This is only the upstream connection. Now, let's go into firewall because I want to change this. Now, I need to accept incoming requests on here and on here because I'm going to be getting incoming DHCP requests from the connected device. Save and apply. And I'm not, just to clarify, I'm not going to be forwarding anything on. This is just a local connection, local to the router that's not used in any network traffic or anything. So let's edit that. And I'm going to rename this to admin. Again, accept input. Obviously accept output. Covers the WAN. Save. That changes color to purple. Save and apply. Right. That says it's got an IP of 192.168.1.24. So I'm now going to unplug my connection. This is going to go blank, and we'll see if I get a new connection for that one. Right, so here is my config. IP config. And there's my existing connection. And there is my new connection with an ID of 2.169. Plugged into what was the WAN port. Okay. So let's now change this to 2.1. here we are. Got a connection. So let's go through and let's remove this definition now. Edit. This is no longer going to be static. That's going to be an unmanaged switch protocol. Save. Save and apply. Now let's edit this one. Make this 1. Save and apply. Yeah, apply and keep settings. It's warning me that it knows I've changed the IP address of the port that I'm connected to. It's warning me I'm going to lose connectivity. So I'm just going to apply and keep settings because I know I'm going to lose it. That's going to count down for 90 seconds, but I'm never going to get another connection. So if I bring this back, we should see that I've now got an ID of 1. So we'll come up here, change that to 1. There we go. And I'm now connected using my admin port on the back of the router. And that's all set. Now I can make all my changes for the rest of it. And this connection is there available for me. I've got no problems. So let's start to make these changes. So I'm going to delete that. Okay. Now let's come in here, devices. And I do not need this VLAN anymore. Let's unconfigure that. Save and apply. Now, I may be doing this wrong because they got rid of the switch device off the menu, but I don't know. I don't really know any way to do it. So there's a bridge device name. There may be OpenWRT developers screaming in their sleep at the moment as they see me do this. But anyway, so I'm bridging together all of these ports, put it together, and now bridge VLAN filtering. So this is the back of my router. These are my 4 ports. Enable VLAN filtering. Let's add, so I need to add 10, 30. Some devices have issues with VLANs 1 and 2, so I'm going to ignore these. So that's 10, 30, 41, 42, 43. Yeah, I'll delete these in a minute. So 30, I have got, it's not shown on the network, I have got one device up there. So I'm going to put that on, untagged, and a primary VLAN ID there. So that's going to be on port 1 for, no, that's not it. 10, let's put in these numbers before I forget. 30, 41, 42, 43. Okay, so that's not the right one. Not participate, it's 30. I've got another internal device. That's going to be untagged. That's going to be primary VLAN for that. So 10 is only going to be Wi-Fi. So there's going to be no ports taking. So this one then is the upstream port. The 4th one I've got here. That's the upstream one. So every single one is going to appear here tagged. Okay, so that's every one of these. That's the upstream port. Port 30 is, sorry, VLAN 30 on port 1 is going to be untagged. VLAN 41, I'm not expecting to have any working from home devices up there, so none of them are going to take part. And I'm not gonna support any devices being plugged into these 2 ports because I don't want people plugging stuff in. Okay, let's save. Now let's just go back in there because I've had some trouble with these before, so I'm just going to delete that one. That's why I saved it first. Oh, I didn't change the number on that one. That's handy. 42. Don't know why that worked. Let's delete that one. Yeah. I think Lucy is a little bit flaky with these. So that one went. Let's delete that one. Okay, fine. So now we've got 10, 30, 41, 42, and 43. Okay. Now that will create a whole load of other devices for me. There we go. Switch 10, 30, 41, 42, 43. They're all virtual devices. Right, now I need to create interfaces for all of these. So let's start with 10. IoT outbound. This is going to be unmanaged, and the device is going to be VLAN switch 10. Settings. Sign a firewall zone. It's in the LAN, and it's got no DHCP server because my DHCP server is on the upstream pfSense. So let's save. Add a new interface. My internal LAN. This is going to be a static address because I want to be able to access and configure the router from within my LAN. So that's switch 30, create interface. No, not static address. What am I doing? DHCP client. So this is going to get allocated. So this is in the loft, as we just talked about. And this is going to be a DHCP client. Check here, nothing. Firewall settings, it's in the LAN. And no DHCP. And a new interface. Work from home 1. Unmanaged device 41. Yep. Now, last one I need now is to just put the switch in here. So add new interface. Switch. Unmanaged. Oh, wait. Bridge switch. Switch. Firewall settings. No DHCP. Right. Okay. Save and apply. There's a lot of changes. Okay. Let's go and define the Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to use the well, not Nano actually, but I'm going to use an editor to do these. I'll add, because I've got 3 radios and I need to define all the different all the networks on all the different radios. So let's go in and edit this first one, and I'm going to create these with without any security, just because it's quicker and easier to test. And it's going to be AOTO. And oh yeah, hold on. Let's enable the network. Oops. Okay, didn't mean to do that. I need to select a country. GB. There we go. Okay. Okay, save. Let's just refresh that. Why hasn't that worked? That's come out active first time every time I've done it. Save and apply. Ah, there we go. So it's now active. So let's add the next device. And the next one is going to be bring from home 1. Well, that's going to be from home 1. And add another one. Bring from home 2. Add another one. Bring from home 3. Now I'm re-adding the guest network, and that's going to share the same network as the IoT outbound. So all the family who used to connect to the internal network will all connect to IoTO network under the name of IoTO. All the guests who currently connect to the to the guest network as guests would also connect to IoTO. So they're both using the same physical network, but they don't realize that they're actually joined. Right. So when you do these, it doesn't come active straight away. You have to wait a little while. Yeah, here we go. They slowly come active. Okay, and that's it there. Now all these ones are going to be exactly the same, but I can't be bothered to key them all in by hand. So let's go to SCP. Right. New site 192.168.1.1. Username root because I haven't set a password, and SCP login. Update. So here I am logged into root. Go to etc. Go to config and wireless. Now this is the wireless definition. Now if you see here, there's some stuff at the top here, some more stuff here, and keep going down, and then we've got all of these access points. So we've got radio 2 with its own access point, and then we've got radio 0, radio 0, radio 0, radio 0. So these are the new access points I just added. And guest, where's the IOTO one? So there's the radio 0 one, there's the IOTO. So let's just remove that and put that down here. Okay, here we go, because it's called default radio 1. I renamed the existing one. Okay, and then we've got default radio 1, and we've got default radio 2, default radio 0. So I'm going to remove default radio 1, delete. I'm going to remove default radio 2, delete. Now I'm going to come down here. These are all my new access points. And I'm going to just paste. I've copied that. Paste it in again. So these ones are going to be radio 3. I'm just going to call that Radio 3. Radio 3. Radio 3. Right, that's radio 3. Now start again. This is now radio 2. I'm just putting a 2 in those. What am I doing? It's radio 0, 1 and 2, isn't it? Okay. And these are all going to be radio 2. Oops. 2. This then becomes radio 1. Radio 1. Radio 1. And now I'm back to guest for radio 0. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And close that. That should have updated that. Now, in order to pick up these changes, there's a command I can issue to restart it, but I'm just going to reboot it. Reboot. Okay, so that's it rebooted. Let's log in and go into wireless. We can see all the extra access points. Let's refresh that. Okay, I've done something wrong because they haven't come active. They're there. What doesn't it like about them? Oh, I know why, because I haven't gone in. I know. Restart. Right. Here we go. Country code. Let's change that to GB. Save. And edit. GB. Save. Right, let's try that. Well, these others have come active. Okay, I'm going to have to do some digging to work out what's wrong with that. Bear with me. Radio 0, radio 1, radio 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. All radio 0. Default radio 1. Radio 1. 1. Radio 2. Ah, that's not radio 23. as a cyclist, all right? Okay, so I've plugged in the... Oh, no, I haven't. Let's plug in the upstream cable into port 4. And with any luck, we should see an IP address appear here. Aha! There we go. So this has now got its IP address. So that's worked. Excellent. So I'm now going to unplug the admin local cable that I've got into the WAN port and plug it in to one of the downstream ports and check that it gets an IP address. So that's now plugged into port 1, which should be on LAN 30. And there we go. It's now got an IP address on LAN 30. Perfect. So that side of it's working. So I'm plugging it back into the admin port. Okay, so that's that tested. Let's check the Wi-Fi. So I'm going to connect to each of the networks in turn, and we should see them. We should see the IP addresses appear down here. So IOTO says it's connecting. Still connecting. Okay. That's not getting an IP address. Okay. Let's try working from home 1. Okay, that's got an IP address. No, internet may not be available. Okay. So working from home 1 is connected without internet, but it's got an address. Okay, working from home 2. That's connected again, but it hasn't got an IP address. Guest. Gonna get an IP address. Same as internet. Well, obviously that would be the same. Working from home 3. That's got an IP address. But it's got no internet access. Right, okay. Well, so we've got some DNS problem on this IOTO and guest, and we've got an internet connectivity problem on the other one. So that's gone the firewall. Let's have a look there. Okay, So let's have a look at pfSense. Okay, so I know what's wrong here. The outward traffic is not destined for the WAN address. Oh no, it's not destined for WAN address. Let's have a look at network. Save. What have I got? One network. Save. Apply. I thought I'd set all these to WAN network, not WAN address. One net. Right, okay. No. Okay. So that's now allowed to one net. I wonder. Let's come back here. Okay. So I don't know why that's not working. Well, so I have an idea about the firewall. I wonder if the traffic, I'm going to have to put in all those rules, because basically the traffic, the outward traffic to the internet is not got a destination of the WAN. It's got a destination of the internet. So let's just try and change this. So let's put that one up there. Let's save. Right, so let's give this access to anything. So that allows the traffic out. I need to edit this block destination. And one.nec. Save. Duplicate. Camera.net. Save. Okay. So that's now going to block access to all those networks and allow traffic out. So let's try WFH1 again. So WFH1 says it's connected. I've got an IP address in the range 41, which is perfect. And Do I have access to the internet? I'm on my, so you can't see this, I'm on my phone. So home. So I'm on YouTube.
It's the glass in a half that makes.
And that's working. Okay. So I need to go through and modify all of those network definitions to block access to all of these networks for all of these other ports. And I need to work out why this isn't getting an IP address. Okay, so that took quite a while. And in the end, what it came down to was, if we have a look here, DMZ interface is IGB2 and IOTO and IOTI are VLAN 10 on IGB2 and VLAN 20 on IGB2. Click IOTO, enabled, all looks fine. Back, IOTI, enabled, all looks fine. DMZ, which is the base interface, not enabled. And when I enabled it, it all started working. So in pfSense, if you have got VLANs, VLAN interfaces, which sit underneath the base interface, if the base interface is disabled, then the VLAN interfaces don't work. So that is what was wrong. So we can go across now and we can come down here and see where have we got IOTO, connected. If we go overview, we see we don't see the address there, but I can see it on my phone. It's got a 10 dot address, which is exactly what it should have for there. Right, so that's all configured. I'm going to go and plug that in, and that's step 3 complete. And I will see you all in the next one. As ever, if you enjoy this and you want to see the next one, remember to like it. No, please like it if you enjoyed it. If you want to see the next one, please subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks very much. Bye.